Haven't been 9-0 since 1904, so there's that too. Georgia made its way into the top 4 this week, but they got to go on the road too to Auburn. With a win, the Dogs guarantee themselves a trip to the SEC title game. And then in the Pac-12, you get number 6 Oregon taking on Arizona. That's a home game for Oregon, while number 7, the Utes, get to host Chip Kelly's UCLA Bruins.
All right, Nicole, hit me with it. It's Paul Finebaum joining us from chilly, frosty Oxford, Mississippi. Ole Miss playing host to LSU. So we're ditching the glasses and we're going with the hat because we're trying to stay warm here. And let's talk about the SEC and let's talk about the fact that we just have 3 weeks left in the regular season. A slate of games today that are going to be impactful on the college football playoff. If you had to pick one that'll have the biggest impact, which one is that?
Yeah, I think I would go with Georgia-Auburn for this reason. If Georgia loses, their playoff hopes are going to go down the drain. I mean, you could make an argument that they would be able to beat LSU in the championship game, but I think this is do or die. And by the way, it's hard to imagine, but Auburn with a win over Georgia and Alabama at least could make a case. I mean, they would easily be the best 2-loss team in the country, and it would take an unbelievable set of circumstances. Obviously, the Baylor-Oklahoma game is pretty important, too.
Well, why don't we get to that one? Because you got the 13th ranked but undefeated Baylor Bears. 13th. I mean, they're behind even where Central Florida was at this point when they were unbeaten in past years. What would have to happen for you to take Baylor seriously as a playoff contender?
Well, I think it starts today. I mean, this is an amazing opportunity for Matt Rule, who I think has done one of the greatest turnaround coaching jobs I have ever seen. But you win today, you finish out, then you try to beat Oklahoma again, and then you have to take them seriously. I would have a hard time imagining a committee turning them down if they run the table undefeated. Now, their non-conference schedule is not good, but that would be an amazing accomplishment for Matt Rule and the Baylor Bears.
Baylor not the only unbeaten, maybe preaching the disrespect creed here and maybe playing that card because Minnesota is still pretty far down the rankings and they're perfect. They're 9-0. They take on Iowa today. What would have to happen in order for the committee to start giving them the respect they might deserve?
Well, listen, I mean, they've been the focal point for a couple of weeks now. I mean, last week was amazing, but they have to win today, which is not easy, by the way. I mean, this is a very dangerous game, and I'll give a pick on this in about an hour and a half, and the Gophers may not like it. But it starts today, and then, if they win the Big Ten, Randy, I'll sound like a broken record with Baylor. If Minnesota wins the Big Ten undefeated, they're going. So that's how they get respect. Win out.
And I think if you're a coach, maybe you don't mind it. Maybe you don't mind the fact that your team is still great, still unbeaten. You can say, look, they don't believe in us. You heard the tease from Paul. He's going to give us his picks later in our show. As he gets ready for his, Paul, stay warm, aiming for 10 a.m. Eastern for SEC Nation on the SEC Network.
Thanks, guys.
Coming up on